Welcome back. This segment is all about what Optavia has to offer and what makes us unique. In my visionary talk, I boldly predicted that Optavia will lead the world to better health for the world. Behind that prediction is almost 20 years of experience creating the key human transformational technology to create health and well-being. Here I will briefly explain why it is difficult to change our health and our well-being by ourselves. Then we'll go into detail of each of the 4 critical components that together make lifelong transformation possible. In the new Habits of Health Transformational System, I show this illustration taken from Thomas Friedman's interview, where he illustrates that human adaptability is not keeping up with machine technology's rate of change. Now, that was before COVID. If you look and see, we're just not making sense. But what we need to do is reconnect humans so they now feel they're not being left behind and put in position using this technology so we can actually embrace change and positive change that will help us both individually and collectively. Unfortunately, how poorly we are doing it, adapting to such wholesale change, has just been widely underscored with the crisis. The last 6 months, everything has changed. The world is indeed on fire. And with the extent of disruption, chaos, and uncertainty, it has just gotten that much harder. Beyond the physical threats, isolation and routine disruption, the silent threat is our mental health. Without awareness and understanding of how our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors work, our minds can really let us down, especially at times like this. In this new normal, life just isn't working anymore for so many. Unhealthy lifestyles are becoming more prevalent as people are compensating for an unhealthy mental state. As a result, most people will be using unhealthy food to comfort themselves during this time. The COVID-15 calculator came out to actually help predict people gaining weight and poor health during this pandemic. And the ongoing threat is not going away anytime soon. Increasing stress and anxiety, stuck at home, and surrounded by nutritional pollution is a bad combination, especially when it can be delivered effortless to you by Uber Eats. We must decide to take responsibility for our own health and well-being. We are in trouble. We can no longer continue our same old behaviors. But should you go it alone? Let's see what the current world offers you if you try to do that. Macronutrient manipulation, dieting. Diets by itself, whether you have low carb, high carb, low fat, ketogenic diet, fasting, they're nothing more than restrictive periods which you certainly can't stay on long and are especially difficult when you're stressed out. Without lifestyle change, most people will gain their weight back within 2 years. Diets by themselves just don't work. So I love this cartoon. Is it working? I've been on a weight loss program for 6 weeks. No kidding. How much have you lost? $500. And what about exercise? Does that make sense? Exercise is an important part of creating optimal health, but it is not a great way to reach a healthy weight. If you have considerable weight to lose, it can actually be harmful if you look at your joints, the pressure on your back and your knees. Basically, it can actually put you in position moving forward where it'll decrease the amount of activity you can do. So exercise alone also will not get the job done. Most who have tried to go it alone have failed. In fact, our kids have watched their parents struggle for years. Most are now in denial, apathy, and have lost hope. And because of COVID, they're basically even in a poor mental state than before. Let's talk about where I came from, the medical community. It only treats symptoms. It really doesn't create health. In fact, more medicines, more surgeries, more ER visits, that's not the solution, and people are scared to death to go back into a hospital now. Now, the medical system I'm very proud of. If you get hit by a car or you need an open heart operation, man, we're great. But for creating health, the medical community fails miserably. So what does work? It's why we're here, Optavia. We are the optimal health and well-being company poised to help you create meaningful long-term transformation right now. Not in the future, right now. Our core offer is lifelong transformation by providing you with innovative human transformational technology. It's starting to get a feel for that? That's what we do. There's the machine tech and there's the human tech, and we're all about the definition of technology is science or knowledge put into practical use to solve problems or invent useful solutions. That's what we deliver, a combination of the practical knowledge and the tools and the support. Everything you need to change your physical, mental, and your well-being. At the core of our human technology are 4 components. It starts for you and for us with our Optavia coaches. Our coaches are empathetic, compassionate, and love helping others transform their lives. Nobody does that better than Charlene Green. Charlene, Can you take more time and just talk about the role of coaches and helping our clients transform their life and their health?
Yes, I would love to do that. And who's not inspired to hear Dr. A talk about what we really have? It is so extraordinary. So today I get to share with you all about the Optavia coach and what we actually bring to the world. And I want to start off by speaking to all the coaches out there. I know you already know this, but we bring enthusiasm. Why? Because we are enthusiastic about the potential that we see in people. Isn't that exciting? We're interested in the dreams that people want to fulfill. And more than that, we're purposeful in promoting optimal living, and we're magnetic. You know why? Because the results that people achieve with us, well, they're simply extraordinary. And my desire today is for all of the coaches that are out there, I want to talk to you for a minute. Those of you that are rocking it, I want to inspire you to take your coaching to a new level as I speak today and really kind of think about what I'm talking about and see where you could gain mastery. I want to speak to all the coaches out there that are just getting connected. Maybe you've been on pause. Maybe you're new. I mean, the world's kind of been on pause lately. I want to encourage you today to get into action as you're hearing me talk about what the coach does. And to all the clients and guests that are joining us, I want to welcome you. And I want to awaken you to connect more with the coach that invited you. And perhaps consider maybe being open to exploring, joining our mission, and maybe becoming a coach yourself. You might not know how great it is, but let's dive in today and find out more about what the coach is. So Dr. A was just speaking to us, and he was really talking about how important all four of the components are. And you're going to hear about them all throughout this morning. And I want to really let you know that when I spoke with him, I asked him why that coach is the very first thing in the four components. Why did he pick that first? And he gave me a pretty profound answer. He said, you know, on a journey, the traveler will always feel a sense of apprehension. How many of you out there have felt apprehension when starting something new? But here's what I found out from him. If they're greeted by a friendly and a kind guide, then they'll be better prepared mentally and emotionally, making that journey ahead where they can be more open and excited about what's about to happen. And that's where the Optavia coach comes in. The coach helps the client navigate the journey of change. And change can feel scary, but not when someone's there to greet you, meet you, and welcome you. And we do just that. We meet the client at their current level of motivation and ability. That's what the Optavia coach comes in and does. We welcome you, and then we begin the process, doing little baby steps forward, a little bit at a time. It's not like you're going to make some big leap into outer space and get healthy all at once. You're going to do little steps, and we call those micro habits. And those really add up over time to big changes, and this leads to a life transformed, your life transformed. And you get to center all that around what matters most to you. So I love what an Optavia coach gets to do, and I am so proud to be an Optavia coach, and I know all of you watching that are, I bet you are too. I think one of the most exciting things about being a coach and the relationship we get to have with our clients is that we are real human beings. And I never thought that that'd be like a big deal in the world. You know, I remember when I was a girl growing up, and I heard someday someone say that we would buy water. Can you believe that we do buy water? Well, who knew that actually talking to a real human being would become a big deal in our world? That's what we get to do. And I remember this really becoming very obvious to me when I was traveling recently. I was in Toronto, Canada, and from the time that I got to the airport all the way to security, I actually never had an interaction with a human being. I took my bag, I checked my bag, the scale weighed my bag, everything was digitalized. And there's something magical that happens when you actually get to talk to people. And then as I was leaving security, I saw this big sign on the wall, and it said, call us, it was a company advertising, and you will get to talk to a real human being. And I thought, that's a big deal. So I want you to know that someone is going to personally guide you as your coach and take you on the journey. And what the coach does, they're the guide. So the guide is going to help you actually move along the path to transformation. And we awaken you as your guide to the potential, and we help you see what is truly possible in your life. And that's a big deal when, you know, life can feel sometimes right now like, what is happening in my life? What do I want? I just want to get through the day. We're going to help you go far beyond that by defining your current reality. This is where I'm standing, right here, and then take a step forward into what you really want to reach, where you want to go, what your desire is, what do you want to achieve. And then we're going to help you take action steps towards it and really pursue it. so that it's not just something that you wish for, it's going to become your reality with our process and our system. And the coach is going to be there with one-on-one support for you. We're going to authentically connect. And I want you guys to know that that's really exciting because we are actually the connector. We connect you to all that we offer. And this is a big deal. We're not transactional. We're actually a company that is relational. We're not selling, we're not telling, we're sharing, we're caring. We're not sending you to a website, good luck, place your order, it'll ship to you in a couple days. We actually take you through the process, through meaningful conversations. And I want to ask all of you coaches out there, how you doing with that? How are you having those meaningful conversations with people that are seeking to transform? This is actually a sacred relationship. It's like a space where we get to come into the client's world and we want to understand what's going on. We seek to understand. It's one of the values you'll hear about today that you're with us. We're going to speak to all these things. And all this starts with a health assessment. The health assessment is pretty magical. When people say, what are you doing? Instead of telling them the name or what it is, in the health assessment, we actually get to find out where the client is, how their health is, what their goals are, pair them with the best program for them, really share how it works and see if they're ready. And you know what? We are for people that are ready. And in that health assessment, that's where the magic begins. Can you imagine ordering something on Amazon and they're like, hey, let me have somebody call you and see if this is the right product for you? How cool in Optavia as a coach that we get to do that and that people get to have that. The coach is knowledgeable. They're caring. And what's great about the knowledge piece, and this really appeals to me about how we have set up Optavia, how Dr. A envisioned it, and how we have all come together to create it, the collaboration of it, it's an apprentice model for all the coaches. Actually, you know what? You don't have to know everything. Someone's going to guide you and show you how to find the tools. A process is something that works for any person that wants to use it. And the apprentice model is where we model for you and help you awaken people, help you bring on your first clients, and then move forward with supporting those clients. And I love this because we get to provide the encouragement and the celebration for our clients and help them really begin to make that change. So I love that we are the connector and we connect you to all those resources. And I just love the picture about this where the coach is coming down with their big arms around you, the client, and helping you create, if you would, like kind of a shields up, kind of like a force field around you. Do you see that? In the world right now, it's almost like missiles are coming at people and they're coming at us. I mean, it happens to me even at my level of consciousness and I have to go, wait a minute, shields up, what resource do I need to connect to right now? And they're all there. They're all there so that we as the coach can guide you to it, so that we're not doing it for you. We're showing you where it is, we're checking in with you, and we're helping you know where to connect. And we do this coaching with our transformation system, which you're going to hear about soon. The life book is key. You know, here I am. I traveled to come here to speak to all of you today, and I packed my life book. Every morning, my micro habit is to have my shake and to do a couple pages in my life book, at least 2. And even this morning, as I was preparing and busy and getting everything put together, I was in my life book, learning how to be a more conscious person for myself, learning how to be the dominant force in my life. So we use a coaching guide to do that. And the coaching guide is where we can look at it and see how we can interact with our clients using that life book. And what this means is anyone can coach. Anyone can coach because it's a duplicable process that's there for anyone that wants to use it. You don't have to know everything. You just need to know where the tools are and someone will teach you and show you. Also, the Optavia coach, they're the connector to the community. The community is so powerful. How many of you out there have been doing things alone in your life? I think more than ever in today's world, we know how powerful the community is. And we're going to show you also how to create your own community around you so that it's not just you in your world, meaning your friends, your family, that's on your journey to health and becoming your best self. Your family and friends are doing it with you. We're going to teach you how to refer those people so they can have the same personal human interaction and find out what's best for them. And I love that because then if they're ready to begin, we can coach them or you can come alongside us and we'll show you how to coach them. This is how we're going to get the world healthy, is letting that all ripple out. And finally, about the Optavia coach, I want to just awaken you to the fact, coaches, that our job is to be in the discovery process. You know, as a little girl, we watched Mutual of Omaha. I might be dating myself here. And we also watched Jacques Cousteau. And I got to see him explore the world and go underneath the water. And there was a whole other world underneath there. I became a diver because I actually wanted to see that world myself. And I feel like when I'm talking to my clients, and especially people that are candidates, they're not maybe a client yet, and I'm exploring their world, I'm like going under the water of their life and seeing what's in there. And so I'm in discovery, and I do that as a coach, and you get to do that as a coach through connection, conversation, and through coaching, we really get to discover exactly where we can assist someone to reach a higher level of health and well-being and living in their life. What an honor and a privilege. Coaches know that people are at their most fulfilled when they're pursuing what matters most to them in their life. So many things that I've done in my life, it was so that someone was trying to get me to do it because it mattered to them, because it was going to help them. Optavia coaches are finding out what's important to you, and we're curious to learn about life on your planet. So here's some things that we do. We're curious. We ask questions and we actively listen. Active listening is where you're actually speaking back to someone and saying, what I heard you say is that right? Because in our planet, we might hear it a certain way, and you get to learn all of this. Your whole relational life as a coach can improve because we are actively listening. We are in the moment. We empower our clients to initiate a change in their thinking. You guys, a change is a powerful thing. Do you know during all the great revolutions, they used to burn all the books? You know why? Because then people couldn't have a new idea. And the most powerful thing you could have in your life is a new idea, a new thought, and learn how to catch those thoughts that aren't taking you where you want to go, see those habits, and shift. And we learn how to do this. We teach this, and as a coach, we're learning it, and then we're teaching our clients how to do it as well, because we were once a client, through stop, challenge, choose. Stop what you're doing, take a breath. Let's all do that. Challenge yourself. What do I actually want in my life? Is what I'm about to do going to help me create what I actually want? Do you guys see now how defining where you are, knowing what you want, and then the actions to get there, this is one of those important action steps that can change your life. What do I really want? Challenge yourself. And then choose. Choose actually what you want to do consciously. And as you do this and you're taking the action steps, you're going to yield some awesome transformational results in your life. We help people expand their awareness and encourage the implementation of micro habits. Macros are the big, micros are the little. We're going to help you create those small changes, and we're going to follow up and help you have the gift of accountability in your life so you're not going it alone. And we're going to celebrate your victories, and we're going to really guide you through those obstacles because they're going to come, and this is how you're going to really create a life of resiliency and power. So basically, we get to assist clients who are ready to create vibrant, optimal health in their life. And with your coach, you can truly go the distance. Not just a little quick change, but the distance to a healthy weight, through transition, into optimal health, and all the way to ultra health, which I didn't even know what that was. The journey goes way beyond weight loss. Now I know exactly what it is. And we do that with our 6 macro habits, the big things: healthy weight, healthy eating and hydration, healthy sleep and energy management. Yes, we all need all of those. Healthy motion, healthy mind, and our healthy surroundings in our life. These are so powerful, and your health is your wealth. We know that more than ever before in our life. Health is your wealth. We have a meaningful and needed gift to give the world. We've got the goods, you guys. We offer true and total life transformation. And this is in a world right now, and has been for a long time, but more than ever now, where the path to optimal health is littered with ineffective solutions and deception. But not here. We're unique, authentic, and we serve mankind. We are truly transformational. And I just want to close with this. We are transformational. It's a process. This is what it means. It's a process of profound and radical change towards a new direction, which in turn creates an entirely new level of effectiveness in your life. Yes, please, I would like that. People transform with us, like that little caterpillar, right into the butterfly. I love it. And just when that little caterpillar thought it was over, maybe it was going to die, the caterpillar began to fly. And I love that that's what we represent, the butterfly effect. You know, flapping your wings, spreading the ripple effect that's going to go out. It's going to be changing the world as you change the world. And as you do, you'll transform, and you will light up, show up, grow up, and you'll begin to take charge of your life, to step into your authentic power and become the dominant force in your life. Doesn't that sound great? Well, it's not a dream. We're going to help you become a reality for you. And this happens, and then the ripple effect starts, that butterfly effect. It takes place others change too. They're like, can I please have what you're having? Yes, we can help you. This is how we are changing the world. Our world is changing, and we are here to assist. And if you're not yet part of our coach community, I want to invite you to explore jumping on board and changing your world with us. Let us guide you exactly how to assist others to change their world too. I want to invite you to explore and think about joining us, because we're looking for more people to assist us to bring transformation to our world. You know, coaching can offer an incredible community, accountability for you, impact, income, and service to mankind. So coaches, are you ready to light up the world? It's our time. Let's partner together, and let's do this on a bigger scale than ever before. I have loved being with you today. What an honor and a privilege. I'm thrilled I got to be here, and I'm thrilled that we got to be together. So now it's our time to shine. And I am so excited as I lead the stage today that I get to actually introduce the person who's going to speak next. And they're going to talk to you about our transformation system. There was no one better on the planet to talk about this, because he wrote it. He created it. He developed it. And his heart is all about serving people. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. So he's back with us now to share with you this amazing piece of the 4 components, step 2. And so let's give it up for Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson.
Thank you, Charlene. That was amazing. And as you can see, what's great about our top leaders, they're on the process too. They're on the journey. They're doing the things that are necessary to not only improve your life, but to improve their lives. Imagine having that kind of guide. That's what it's all about, and that is why I put the coach first. What I'd like to do now is take you through the Habits of Health transformational system. As Charlene said, this transformational technology changes everything. It puts you in position to now have a blueprint to move you forward. Now, as a physician for over 40 years, helped pioneer critical care medicine. But I will tell you, this is the body of work I'm most proud of. This is the body of work, rather than helping a few people, can help everyone in the world take control, take command with our coach, our community, and our feelings, and change everything. Because every day, people want to change, and they're struggling so much. Diets by themselves don't work. Basically, exercise itself doesn't work. The 6 macro habits that basically she talked about are critical. Now, what's really good about this, we can move forward together. It empowers us to awaken first, to equip us with the right information, this new human transformational technology, and gives you the tools to practice, to grow and support sustainable change. And when combined with the other 3 components, it has given people the confidence, skills, and support necessary to create better health and well-being, as Charlene was talking about. The system is a comprehensive approach, providing the science and the knowledge put into practical useful tools. We do that by breaking down the 6 macro habits, as Charlene just did. Basically, if you look at them, you can see there's 6 of them. Because when I looked at it, exercise alone, or what you eat alone, but when you focus on all 6, starting with reaching and knowing weight management, which is so critical during this time. Second is eating healthy. The third is basically putting yourself in position to move more, starting in baby steps, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now, moving a healthy sleep and energy management, basically working on your healthy mind. And of course, your surroundings. When we focus on all 6 together, at your pace and where you want to start, we can change everything. What's cool about the system, the Habits Health Transformational System, it looks the same and it's coordinated to deliver in many different ways with your style of learning, so we can actually in baby steps until it becomes a reality for you. Your coach is the key part, and they're trained on using the system, and they have a guide that allows them to experience with you the things that are necessary, move you along at your own pace. There's no week 1, week 2, week 3. We go where you are. We're about autonomy supportive. We allow the system to actually give you the self-confidence and the self-efficacy so you can self-direct yourself. A doctor, a coach, a trainer, no one can be with you 24/7. So we're going to empower you for the first time to take control of your health, your life, and overcome those old habits. And since your coach works basically from home, we can use this technology to connect you with your coach in both a safe and convenient way. Do you think that might be important right now during these crazy times when you want to work on your mind as well? We have one of the most powerful things we can do, and we talked about this. Basically, most people are in the drama cycle, which is on the left side of your screen, and people are down there with thinking they're the victim. And what we'd want to do is, or someone's being your hero, right, or being the villain, blaming somebody. That just doesn't work, and during the survival mode we're in right now as a world, we need to teach you The world is going to deliver. Nothing is life is intrinsically unstable, but what we want to do is give you the ability to respond in a way that allows you to move forward and be able to survive and eventually thrive. I talked earlier this morning basically about survival state and people find themselves in. It's filled with blaming, feeling like a victim, or needing to be the hero. What we love to do in the contracted state is actually bring you above the line so we can actually transform you, so you learn how to empower yourself, a very different way of thinking. What's really cool, one of the creative taking back control of your mind and your health is about learning to build new habits. We'll do that through our proven technology. One very powerful tool that Charlene mentioned is our micro habit. We understand that humans struggle with their motivation. We know we want to do something. We have great intention in January, but we know that our daily motion is all over the place. Some days we're ready to take on the world. Other days we want to grab our blankie, suck our thumb, and just sit on the couch, right? We also know that the key to success is installing new habits to run a healthier life. And the key to habit installation is consistency. So what we do is we break down each habit so that we want to install into the micro habit. So what I've defined, and we've created micro habits, is defined as a new routine that is so easy that you can do it even on those days when your motivation level is really, really low. You know, those blankie days, right? The way we do it every day, on days when we feel like we can do it more. So the bottom line is we can make sure we do just a little, but on those days when we're getting into it, we can do more. And consistency and installation until it becomes a permanent new habit. The next slide shows you the average of 66 days to install a new habit. So we pick the macro habit we want to work on. We break it down into a micro habit. We repeat it daily, and we track that streak so we actually build a new habit. Again, on average, it takes about 66 days. What we do with our transformational tools, we have a digital assistant to help you. The app is a simple daily accountability tool. It starts with tracking your fueling and your water intake. It also helps you start to create that pause between stimulus and response, which most people don't know they even have. Stop, challenge, and choose, as Charlene talked about, can help you stop reacting and start making choices that support your health and well-being. And we'll track your streak. And actually, in the app, I've done little videos, so we know this. We know if you miss 3 days in a row, that you have to go back and start over and your streak is gone. So I'll come on a little video if you miss one day and go, you don't want to miss the next day. So we're there to help you in all the different ways we can. We are creating human transformational technology using technology machines to help us implement the things that can move you forward. The next is your life book. Your life book is an interactive journal. Will help you learn and allow you to develop ownership. You'll write down your current story and evaluate how well that current story is serving you. Then, in progressive elements, you're going to write your own story, a story of optimal health and well-being. You know, in the book, basically, will help you first understand how it's not your fault. Your 10,000-year-old design and the world you live in today are very, very different. You're going to gain the specific knowledge necessary so you can create optimal health and potentially live longer in a healthier state, the ultra state that Charlene talked about. It will be your desk reference to the system, indexed, same colors, matching fonts, all there, so when you're installing, you have quick access to all the things you need. You don't need to go to all these magazines and all these ideas of the week and all these pundits telling you got to do this, you got to do that. It's all consistently wrapped in one piece, all based in science and all evidence-based. And what's great about it, it's about real results. I challenge, every photo in the Habits of Health book are real people that have actually changed their lives using this human transformational technology. No stock photos. I'm not aware of any other health system actually that creates real-life stories to give you evidence of lifelong transformation. And we do it in easy ways. Easy entry, progress at your own pace, lots of different ways to learn. The app you'll use many times a day to hold accountability so you can take control, remembering when to eat, remember when to drink your water, knowing when something happens you can stop, challenge, and choose, and make record of that so you can progressively change. Then the life book, really every day, writing your progress, and it moves you along. In the beginning, it's basically all about giving you little sentences you have to complete, and by the end of the year, because we want to make sure we're here, we know to change everything long term, it takes around a year. So we're going to be here for you, and you'll write down those changes and you'll learn to write more, because we know when we write, it really affects our ability to learn. And then the book is the more in-depth info as you take control of your life. The Habits Health website is a comprehensive resource to download helpful information, shopping charts, logs, accountability pieces, also support videos for exercise and incredible transformational stories. We made that free to everyone. People that right now in this economic time are struggling, we want to make sure we give them access so they can start improving their health and their life, and then when it's able, they can then acquire a coach and then really go all out after it. This is human transformational technology that can change everything. It addresses the key areas of your health and your life. Let's shift to the next component, which is critical for long-term success. You know, Albert Bandura from Stanford pioneered the work that your surroundings determine your behavior. We have created a comprehensive community. I'd love to have Gina Eccles, the tremendous leader and community advocate, talk about how important it is for the Optavia community in terms of your health and your success.
Thank you so much, Dr. A. And I am so privileged and honored to be here with you guys today. And I just want to ask you a couple questions. My first question for you is really this. If this community didn't exist and you could do this all on your own, would you have even come to Optavia? Would you be on this call today? Would you be watching us right this very minute? I don't think so. I think that we all need community. And I think in this time right now, that has become so evident. So evident. So I want to do something really fun with you guys for just a minute. I'd love it if everybody would just, I know we're gathering together in front of our computer screens, our TV screens, and I want you to clap your hands together and rub them really fast. I know you think I'm crazy. Faster, faster. Let's just share some love for just a second. As a community, to one another. Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Because I want to tell you, the value of community is insane. The amount of accountability that is created, it takes this journey of optimal health. It takes this piece right here where you're like, you know what, Gina, I just want to rock my health program. And all of a sudden, it causes you to lean in to that health coach. Can y'all lean in? Lean in to your health coach. It causes you to crack open that life book when you don't have time, when you won't make the time. It causes you to want to grow because when you step in to the accountability of this community, it changes everything. You're changing your environment. You're stepping in to something bigger than yourself. And I don't know about you, but I was a pretty independent girl. I didn't think I needed a community. I didn't think I needed others to stay on track. Boy, boy was I wrong. Boy was I wrong. The thing that keeps me all these years later after getting to a healthy weight, the things that keep me in are all of you. It's this community that we have together. And so I want to tell you, step in, lean into that. There are so many ways that you can take advantage of this community. So the first way is through client support groups on social media. I have to tell you, you know what? Anybody else wake up at like 2 in the morning and you're like thinking about things, and then all of a sudden the kitchen over there, it's like, no, I should be back in bed. I should be practicing those habits of sleep that Dr. A talked about. Anybody else out there? Yeah. And what I love is those support groups are available at 2 a.m. when your coach would not appreciate a phone call. They just wouldn't. So I love, love, love that we have the availability 24/7 to support, to structure, to recipes. Anybody else not know what you're going to eat until you go to your client support groups and check those out? There's also virtual gatherings. Those virtual gatherings are amazing where we can just come together and maybe even do a healthy happy hour that's online. You know, back in the day, we used to do them in person. And someday, again, I hope and I pray, because that community, that in-person community is amazing. But for now, why not do one online? I know my kids live in different states. Well, my daughter lives near us, but not in our house. And so we do virtual happy hours almost like people do potlucks. I'm like, I'm making this, what are you making? And we talk about it, we're on Zoom, and our son lives in Texas, and him and we have fun, and then we even watch comedy shows together. Like, we're just having fun as if we're together, but we're driving that healthy community together. It's staying accountable to a greater purpose. There's also events that you can take part in, like this Healthy Habits for All events, right? Where we can help our community, those who maybe haven't had access to healthy foods. Now, all of a sudden, that's available. You could also tune in to the Habits of Health webinars or weekly support calls. Hey, sometimes our lifeline is that health coach. There are moments as a health coach, I receive text messages that are like, 911 emergency. I'm about to dive into a plate of chili cheese fries. That community becomes a lifeline. What if your coach isn't available in that very moment? By the way, those support groups are a really great place to lean in when that stuff comes up, when you're tempted, when you're lonely, when you're down. Man, I think of the inspiration, the stories, the people that I can identify with when I feel like I can't go any longer. Like, no, I'm not going to make it. I can't push through. It's the community that keeps us on track. It's something greater than yourself. So again, I want to challenge you. Engage with others who are currently on plan. Stick tight. Do you have a running buddy? Do you have someone who you're like leaning into over and above throughout? Maybe they live locally, but man, some of my best friends live all over the world. And we have met through this amazing company, and we've become the dearest friends, and we hold each other accountable because of that. So lean into that community at your convenience. Check out those live webinars. Really lean into the recordings, okay? If you can't be on live, watch the recordings. That's the other beautiful thing at 2 in the morning. Dr. A, you didn't hear this right now. Sometimes I might not be able to go back to bed. Hey, with 7 kids, sometimes there's just one that wants to watch Dr. A. You never know. So I also want to encourage you to take advantages of the recipes and the tips and the long-term healthy habits that you can participate in. Look, optimal health doesn't happen on accident. It happens when you engage with your coach. It happens when you engage in your life book. It happens when you practice those habits of health. It happens when you remain in community. See, I have found that when people step out of community, oh, I'm at my goal weight, Gina, thanks, high five. Yeah, I'll see you back in 30 pounds because you haven't changed who you hang with. See, you were hanging with people that health was important, and now all of a sudden you're back in your old world, living your old dream, thinking that it's gonna just be perfect, and it can't, because they didn't change. You did. They were not awakened to the possibility. You were. Stay in the community. It will create a higher level of accountability long term. I'll tell you right now, had I never become a health coach, I don't know where I would be. But as a health coach, I engaged in every step. I still have a brownie every night before bed. I don't think I could go to sleep without it. It's my bestie, next to my honey, of course. But I have to tell you guys, like, stay with it. Stay in this community. Build friendships and begin to change who influences your life. You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. I want to say that again. You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. Let's put the Optavia community in one of those places. You have each other to get through. Okay, you're changing your environment. It's changing your healthy surroundings. It's changing that underlying support. Okay, so I want to tell you guys a little story because something bigger happens. something bigger happens when you engage in this community. Last year, my husband, we were putting on a fun little local event, and my husband on the airplane slept wrong and actually slipped a disc. It literally, he was debilitated. Couldn't walk, couldn't talk. Well, he could talk, but those of you who saw him at that event were like, what is he saying? And the Optavia community, showed up. Not just our group of local coaches who took care of him, because I had to leave him at our home in Utah and go to our house in Maui where our children were to get them on a plane to bring them back. But he had to find doctors, he had to find nurses, he had to find people. And I have to tell you, this community surrounded us. They came, they brought him dinners because he couldn't get out of bed. They came and they made sure that he was taken care of, that he had constant care. They came and they blessed him and they prayed over him and they were there for him. But I have to tell you, a coach, not in our organization, so other than this community and our tie to the same community, said, wait, I think I know someone, Adam. I'm gonna look into it. We had a client in our organization. I work for a neurosurgeon. Let me see if I can get you in. I work for the best neurosurgeon. He had MRIs, he had everything taken care of. And within a week, that other coach had referred him to a doctor, and he was in having life, for him, it wasn't life-saving. I'm gonna use he's now able to walk. He wasn't even able to walk. That would have changed my entire family's future and all the things that we could do with Daddy. And one coach stepped out. We had a lot of coaches step out, so I don't want to deny this, but one coach stepped out and said, I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And it changed. And my husband is here today, able to walk, able to function as a fun, crazy dad that he is because of this community. And so I want to challenge you, I want to ask you, do you have that community? Do you have people in your world that will be there for you in good times and in bad? Do you have those people who are going to be there for you when you just need to send a 911 text? I'm about to dive into the chili cheese fries. Do you have it? Because this community right here, we want to welcome you in. We want to say, come in, come join us, come play in our playground. Because we are family. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter. We are family. And you are unconditionally loved. And you are welcome. So I'm going to turn the time over now to Amber, and she's going to share a little bit more, Amber Smithson, and she's going to share a little bit more about our programs and our products. Take it away, Amber.
Hello, my fellow Optavians. I'm Amber Smithson, and I'm so excited to talk to you today about our amazing products and programs. Now, I grew up in California, and in California, it is where 90% of the world's almonds are actually born and raised. That's how I think about it. And my parents' home was surrounded by 25 acres of almonds. I called it the Magical Almond Orchard Fortress. It's Ortress for short. Now, there's some farmers who farm almonds, and they will tell you that when the nut is on the tree, then it's called an almond. But once the nut is off the tree, it is now called an almond because you have to shake the L out of it. That's a little farmer humor for you. Now, as a child, our bus would drop us off about a half a mile from our home. And we would cut through the almond orchards in order to get home just a little bit faster. And it gave me a lot of time to think about this amazing little delicacy that is an almond. And before tools and technology, the process was painstakingly slow and quite expensive in order to get one little almond. And if you've ever walked through an almond orchard and tried to get a little snack, you're gonna find out how difficult this really is. So step one is shake the tree when it's ready. Step two, you have to manually remove the hull. It's like this fuzzy little green outer coating. Then step three is you have to manually crack and remove each shell just to end up with one tiny little almond. So you probably can understand that it's not a very fast and convenient snack as a child walking home from the bus stop. But nowadays, we have specific machinery that shakes the trees, sweeps them up, harvests, hulls, cracks, sorts, dries the whole almond crop. I definitely knew when it was harvest season because those machines were shaking the trees and your entire house was shaking along with it. It probably doesn't surprise you that almond production is up 400% since new technology has come around. So you're probably wondering, okay, Amber, that's great. I like almonds, but what does this have to do with me? So 16 years ago, at age 24, I didn't have Optavia in my life. I found myself overweight, I found myself unhealthy, and I was ready to do something to really move my health forward. So I spent about 4 hours per day, became my new part-time job to chop, prepare, count macros, kill myself in the gym for several hours a day. And this was in addition to my 40-hour per week full-time job. And I did lose weight. I improved my health, and as it happens, whenever you get healthier, people start asking you, what did you do? I need help. And I tried to help about a dozen family and friends. And what I found is that I was hearing the same excuses over and over. I was hearing, I don't have enough time to do this, Amber. I don't have enough time to spend all those hours in the gym. I don't have enough time to chop and prepare. I'm too busy and I don't have enough motivation. So out of those dozen or so people I tried to help, do you know how many people were actually successful? None. Well, me. So I guess there was one. But I really believed in lifestyle change over dieting. I knew that people needed mindset help. They needed someone who would guide and support them. They needed a community where healthy was the new normal. I just didn't know where to find it. So that's when my mom and my Optavia coach introduced me to this amazing program and introduced me to an amazing man whose name was Dr. A. And one other person that she introduced me to, who's not pictured in this picture, was Dr. A's late wife, Lori. And I met this couple. They believed in this program so much. And I remember sitting in Lori's front room with her one time, and I was asking her, like, does this program really work? Can you really work on not just your healthy body, but your healthy mind and your healthy finances? Is this something that I could really do? And she said, Amber, I believe in you. She said, Amber, you make yourself a vision board. She said, if you want to change, this is the program to do it. And that day I made a decision. I decided to jump in with both feet into the full program. And I've never looked back. So in 2009, my husband Jared and I, we became coaches. And we had the tools to empower people to make those changes in their life. The products and programs in Optavia are complete game changers. If you've ever tried to make a change, if you've ever tried to change major habits in your life, it's easier said than done. Just look at all the New Year's resolutions that happen every January. Dr. Ray talked about this morning, that come April, the gyms and the produce aisles are empty. What it takes is small, sustainable changes in your daily choices. That is what creates that long-term change. So when we were brand new, Dr. Ray said something to us. He said, if you can open a wrapper every 2 to 3 hours, you can start a ripple effect in your life. So we introduce people to a simple eating plan that can be followed with ease, without too much thinking, without too much tracking, without too much extra time. You can take that time and you can put it into the head work, you can put it into the heart work that's really needed to actually make those new habits stick. But fuelings, they're such an elegant catalyst to this lifelong transformation. So here's just a few of the amazing benefits of our fuelings. First one, nearly 40 years of evidence-based research. When I became a coach, that was so important to me personally that I knew I was offering a program to my friends and my family that I believed in. That each fueling is macro balanced, 24 vitamins and minerals. They're low glycemic. You can utilize them to ease your body into a gentle, efficient fat burn. Each fueling contains complete proteins, which help retain lean muscle mass. This is important anytime that you're going to be trying to lose weight. You want to protect that lean muscle. You want to target that fat. And I love the science behind a fueling, that as you actually limit your choices, you are going to increase your success long term, because we don't need to be constantly fatiguing ourselves, making decision after decision after decision. So let's talk a little bit more about the science of 6 fuelings a day that we believe in and we teach in the Habits of Health. So just take a look at this graph. One of the goals that we have is to keep your insulin and your blood glucose levels steady and even, right around baseline. We want to avoid those high peaks and those low valleys by eating low glycemic small meals all throughout the day. So both the timing and the macro balance is so important in this science. And as you follow this, it can help you lose weight, control your hunger, reduce fluctuations in satiety or that feeling of fullness. And it just makes so much sense. So we have many plans that are offered, and each of them is simple, structured nutrition, and each is based on sound principles of fueling our bodies with macro balanced nutrition 6 times a day. Proper hydration, proper sleep, stress reduction, and movement. Because in a fast-paced world filled with busy schedules and nutritional pollution, you might be thinking, yeah, Amber, that sounds great. Just eat 6 times per day, small balanced meals. I've heard this before, but I'm so busy. How can I actually make that happen? So this is where the technology and science of the fueling comes into play. You get balanced macros and a healthy nutritional footprint in a convenient grab-and-go package, minus all the negatives that we typically see in a packaged food item. Honestly, I want to personally thank the food scientists who helped create our fuelings, and I know Dr. Ray is happy about his favorite brownie for breakfast. I'm on board with that as well. So each plan also focuses on at least 1 meal per day, and that's called the Lean and Green. This is where we begin to learn how to prepare fresh choices at home for long-term sustainability. So a Lean and Green, it's just 5 to 7 ounces of lean protein, 3 servings of non-starchy veggies, and some healthy fat. And this can be conveniently eaten at home or to go from a restaurant. And don't forget your 64 ounces of water either. So I encourage all of my clients to make Lean and Green a lifestyle for your entire family. Now, was it easy to convince my kids that fish and broccoli are normal dinners in the Smithson house? Nope. They were used to things called nuggets. And Mom, I only like mac and cheese from the blue box. It actually took years, if I'm being honest. But now my family eats Lean and Green for dinner most every night of the week, and they're teenagers. My hope is to teach my children these principles and really affect generational change. In the end, it has to be simple. It has to be simple enough to continue doing it until it actually becomes a habit. And our fuelings facilitate the creation of habit by removing those barriers, removing the excuses that so many of us have, like, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough energy, I don't have enough motivation. So I love this quote from Dr. A from the Habits of Health system. He said, remember, it's the daily repetition of actions and behaviors that will help you transform from your current state of health to your desired state of health and well-being. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference whether you choose salad or the hamburger today, but as you string together these small choices over time, it creates that long-term change that we all really want. I guess the only question left is, are you ready? Are you ready to utilize tools and technology that are proven to move our health forward and accelerate the health and hope of our world? Or are you still shaking the almond trees with bamboo sticks and hulling by hand, by not reaching out, by not reading, by not plugging into the community, or by trying to figure out your nutrition on your own? You guys, it's 2020. We don't wash our clothes down by the river. We use our washing machine. We use tools. And then we utilize the saved time to make a difference in our world. In closing, I want to invite you, dive into all 4 components of this amazing system that you've just heard about for the last hour. Your Optavia coach, the Habits of Health transformational system, our Optavia community, and our amazing products and programs. Why not join us? Join us in creating a life focused on what matters most. Okay, let's turn it back to Dr. A to wrap it up.
Thanks, Amber. And thanks, Gina. And thanks, Charlene. Amazing leaders giving you amazing information. Human transformational technology. So now you have an opportunity to look under the hood and see how we create lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. From the comfort and safety of your home, we deliver one-of-a-kind proven system. It will support and allow you to take back control of your health and your life. It provides what is necessary for us to change. It is certainly a gift worth sharing. I hope you've learned enough to help make an informed decision. Decide to take responsibility for your health and your well-being. And I know we would love to help you. Thanks for taking time today to be with us on Optavia Together Live and learning more about our 4 components that make Optavia so unique and a catalyst for your own transformation. We're going to take a short break, but please join us for the next segment where we'll be discussing our habits of transformational leadership and hearing from some more folks who are now living their best lives. See you soon.